it's Luke and Leia, and they run around and you can play with them. Unless your parents tell you you're too old to play with toys, and you ask them, well, why did you buy me these in 1977 if you don't want me playing with them still? Anyways, there's a solution. If you're all grown up and toys are not for you, here's some enamel pins from Left Coast Graphics. They remind you of those vintage figures of back in the day, and you know what? When nobody's looking, you can pull them off your jacket and go, hey, Leia, let's go! And the ships come in these fantastic boxes that you can fold out. And here's the one for Boba Fett's infamous enamel spaceship. This is the pin. It looks fantastic. You could put it on your jacket. But like I said, when nobody's looking, you could fly those ships around. So remember, get your enamel pins with these awesome card backs and these fantastic pins that double as toys, but don't tell your parents. From Left Coast Graphics!
And welcome to the Toy Duo. And that was a word from our official sponsor, who has never sponsored us.
What's up, Left Coast?
Hey. Anyways, welcome to the Toy Duo. Let me find my banners here. Welcome to the Toy Duo. This is your place for talking about all things action figures, Star Wars, Marvel, whatever's coming up during the week, we're going to talk about. We do have reveals that we're going to be doing. And in that section, we're going to be asking ourselves whether or not we think it's hot or not. And basically by that, we mean, are we buying it or are we leaving it on the shelf? Anyways, we used to do a thing called Action Figure of the Week, but I've been too lazy to put up a poll to figure out which action figure everybody wants. And it was turning out that everybody just wanted Star Wars figures anyways, no matter who went up against who. So we kind of axed that thing. But we got Ways to the Sith here with us this week. How you doing, Ways?
It didn't matter who it was either. Like, it was always good choices, and it was like always, like, even Lando got picked over other people, which was insane to me.
Yeah,
but I'm doing all right. How's everything?
Good. You can catch Ways of the Sith at youtube.com/@Ways of the Sith. And I'm Vern from Vern Rants, Ochre Studios. You can get me at youtube.com/@Ochre Studio. Well, at Vern Rants. Or you could probably do Ochre Studios. I don't really know. I don't remember anymore. I know people
I search Ochre Studios and it comes up. So yeah, you just type in Ochre and we're good.
People in the chat usually go, yeah, we know where your channel is because we're here while watching.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing
this show doesn't air on other people's channels yet. Hopefully at some point it will once I can get another computer. But for now, it just airs on Vern's channel.
So I do have I do upload this as a podcast, so I'm just saying it in case somebody's listening to it in their car. They can pull over to the side of the road and write it down really quick so they can catch us on YouTube. So as always, we want to say hello to some people in the chat because, as you know, when folks show up and contribute to the conversation, it's always makes the show 100 times better. Now, we were supposed to have State O'Verse from Twitter, and he's also got his own YouTube. He's supposed to be jumping in to join us. He hasn't yet. I think this will be his first live stream, so maybe he's still trying to work out the glitches. He may be doing an update on his computer. And I think Super John was thinking about stopping by, so we'll see if those guys show up. If they do, we'll add them in. But until then, let's get on with the show. Let's say hello to Left Coast Graphics, who's got some eyes. Now, he's got his Star Wars theories, but he's got nothing on what's going to be happening here on the Toy Duo. Gerard Kane saying hello to everybody.
Gerard, look, right behind me right there. I picked it up.
I did Star Wars sign. You got Jonathan Redmond is saying, hello, evening, everyone. Oh, no, evening.
Hey,
I can't even read the words that are printed on the screen. Can you imagine if I was like reading a teleprompter or something like that? It would like, all that work of typing that stuff in the teleprompter would just be like, you're not.
At least you're leaving it up longer than you normally do.
Connor from Fuller's Figures is saying hello to the guys.
Hey, Connor.
To be honest.
Connor, look what's playing in the background there. You see it? I hope you zoom in and you can see it.
Yeah.
I'm playing Rogue One just for you.
Yeah. He loves Andor. Rolando Flores is driving but listening. Rolando, we're gonna need you to be super active in the chat while you're driving. I'm just kidding, please.
Please be careful.
On the steering wheel in the 10 and 2. So we got Miriam Gills is here.
Hey, Miriam.
To everybody. Vagon is saying hello, all.
What's up, Vagon?
Captain Spaulding has joined us. Captain,
What's up, Captain?
Gage. Oh, are you watching Star Trek? Oh my gosh.
No. I've heard good
Oh,
things though about Picard. I heard it was really good. Even Dude said like he loved it. I saw him tweet about it the other day.
yeah, this season is just. I think they're just hitting all the notes, right? Like they're giving everybody their proper due. So much.
I heard they did like such a fantastic job bringing everybody together. Like it's what Star Wars should have been.
Yes.
They did it like perfectly. They executed it really well. That's what a lot of people were saying.
It's going to be a good send off or a segue into something new, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jonathan saying so much for giving the people what they want, Vern. Instead, we are getting 2-hour Andor discussion. It's all things Andor season
dissecting the whole entire thing. Yep.
Let's see. Waze hates Andor because of the Dublin actors.
Don't even dare. Don't even dare. Only you, Connor. Only you.
I have to get those. Even Gilbert is not even that bad, Connor, and the boy does have it in for us. Let's see. Oh, there's a copyright strike right there.
That's why I have it just out of the frame. Hey, Sean, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, man. Sorry you couldn't be with us. Let's talk about Sean for a minute. He's got himself. We're going to add State of Verse is joining us. I'm guessing you're going to do audio only. You can always throw on your camera anytime you want, but feel free just to do audio if that's what you want to do. So Sean has been gainfully employed, and unfortunately, he's probably not going to be available for many, if any, Saturdays, he said. So we're going to, we still have to work that out, but I do like keeping the Saturday time slot. It keeps everybody home on the weekend and out of trouble.
Especially Connor.
Let's see. Still going through the chat. Gilster saying hello to Gilster.
Hey, what's up, Gilster?
And then he's saying hi to everybody. So, State of Verse, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for the invite. I just can't get the damn audio, or not the video to work. It says the browser doesn't want to keep. I uploaded Chrome, so now it's on Chrome, and I don't have Edge, or have Edge, and it didn't work. So it's like, oh, you've got audio, but I don't have video, and I can't find my dang gone avatar. So here I am. I'm a little white speck.
Where's it? So on the bottom of StreamYards, there's a little settings button, and then does it have a stop camera button? Is that circled? Because usually it pops up stop camera. Oh, device not connected. Okay, so he dropped out somehow, not connected. We'll see if he pops back in. There you go.
See, I had to restart my phone for whatever reason. Every time like we do this, I have to restart my phone and then go in because my camera won't like show me. You know what I mean? It just shows black for whatever reason.
Yeah, like if I go to my settings, if I go to the settings, it has like a camera thing, and it gives me like a drop down to choose like which camera to use.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you had a separate webcam, sometimes the phone works better too.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's just got the start cam, and it shows a big X or like a line across it. Doesn't want to actually, but I figured I'd rather not restart. I wanted to try and be on time. Then it says download Chrome because Edge doesn't work. I was like, I don't have Chrome. Where did it go?
It's in there somewhere.
I'm a little speck. There I am, a little white speck speaking on there.
So I was looking at your YouTube channel, and you can catch State of Verse over at youtube.com/state-o-verse 5528. Was there really 5,528 other people with State of Verse?
I think that's the app doing that. I thought I was the only one. Hence, the State of Verse is now. It's not. That is weird. I think the app is creating some sort of algorithm lately and making people say, "Here, touch me, push, get in there." And you know what? When I feel creative, I get in there, and I really appreciate it's an honor to be here today, and I appreciate the invite. But the heck with the app, and if I feel creative, here I am.
Awesome.
How are you guys today?
Good.
All right.
So, hey, when we have somebody new on that's never been like on a live stream before, I like to ask, like, I know you have a collection. I know you have your YouTube channel, and you were doing a series called This Is My Why, right? Do you want to talk about your collection, and what got you inspired, how long you've been collecting? Kind of give us a history about your why you started collecting in the first place.
Well, it's a long story, but since I was a wee little lad, I saw probably the what's on your shirt there, Ways of the Sith, and that was Star Wars. Oh boy. And that a documentary later, and so many since then, I saw someone open up his garage, and I looked at it and went, "Oh my gosh!" It was a big load of nothing but Star Wars toys that they've been collecting since it came out, and you made yourself think, the cereals, the cartoons. Since then, it's just literally from television, comic books, movies, cinema. I wanted it, and I figured it's like it was a part of culture. So ever since then, I've been collecting, and it's kind of crazy actually, because there's not a lot of space sometimes. And if you ask Andrew Lau, he'll tell you that you bring him on the show, he say, "Oh my gosh, the stuff I've shown him." He's like, "What? Do you never sell anything?" And I was like, "Yeah, I haven't sold anything. I think that would be some sort of a retirement one day to say." All the stuff. I mean, I've seen your collections back there. I love it, and I'm thinking that's where I might have to move into. Is what was the packaging by Hasbro inspiring me to say, well, I guess I'm gonna rip them all up because I don't want to see the Sarge in packaging. So I opened him up. Granted, the Build-A-Figures by McFarlane. Oh, look at that Beast Boy! I might have included. See that in the promo. There was a Beast Boy with his face looking at that was the black light UV, and I was like, whoa! I love it. Opened them all up. Don't know what to do with the other figures. I've got tons, and it's just from comic books to television, motion pictures to action figures. That is quite literally the spiel of this is my why, and I just couldn't resist. And I wanted to share for a little bit, just a little mini series. And I'm thinking maybe something more later, just like you guys, have a persona. I'm on the. I was about to have this cool little presentation for you guys. You would have loved it with my little. I have a cowl on. I had it now. It's on my head, but it's not on my face like it could have been. I'll figure this out. I'm pretty tech savvy. I just didn't have enough time, and I was trying to catch up. I was on the third episode of the one that I was behind on the Mandalorian, and I just saw Moff Gideon, and I thought all those troopers behind him as he enters the room, and I thought then he mentioned something about his return. And I thought, oh, here we go. Oh, it's about to hit the fan, and I thought, oh, and that's as far as I got. I had to cut it off and come here. So you can see where my priorities were for a little bit. On your shirts there. I wanted to be prepared, but I passed out silly last night. I was so tired. But yes, my collection, it's quite vast. And as I progress, I think I will maybe showcase it. I keep thinking to myself, and this is crazy, walk into the loo, and I think to myself, I can think clearer afterward. And what else to move forward as far as showcasing the collection? And it's true though. You go into the loo, you have like a clearing sensation, and that's exactly what comes to my head. What can I do to showcase it better? I like when you laugh.
That's not where I do my thinking.
It's fun, but because really, you guys are so fantastic with the way I love your rants. Hasbro deserves it. Okay, those guys got a little greedy, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, the packaging. It's cardboard, but then again, it's also. It's just something that kind of tore at me, and I thought, oh, there's Mezco. They don't have the Japanese overseas. They don't care. Open it up if you're gonna play with it. It's fine. Now, in the same sense, I was motivated to say I want to open them on a display just like you guys have back there, and I love those displays. I love them.
Yeah.
The hardwood floors is what I want to lean towards downstairs.
He's talking about 2 ways. He loves hardwood floors.
I love because I've seen displays on Facebook, and I've gone, oh my gosh. These gentlemen have like sideshow from the bottom up, glass cases lit up, and you wouldn't believe it. I thought, oh, I'm loving it. I want that one day. So yeah, my collection goes far from Mythic Legion, Star Wars, Star Trek, and there isn't a lot after a while, just because I think the licensing is that differ between Asylum. You remember Asylum toys?
Yeah.
And
so you're pretty much in on like every line. It sounds like.
Oh yes. It's sad.
So
oh yes.
Yeah, I do have a question about that, but I want to say hi to Brian's Action Figure Reviews. He's joined us. Dandy 1981 has come in.
Hey, Dandy.
We got Salacious Rum jumped in there, who's also telling us about his experience on the loo. So just leave it at that. But okay, so if you had to, for some reason, there was only one line that you would collect, what would it be?
Now, are we talking from the past lines, or are you going forward with improved?
No, going forward.
McFarlane Toys.
What?
Really?
McFarlane Toys. He has stepped up his game. It's as if ever since he had his Kickstarter for those little Spawn toys, he had a plan. And sure enough,
Yeah.
it's come to fruition with DC. He knew what he
Wow.
was doing. Where did all that
That's
extra
very
capital
interesting.
go? I mean, he has the potential to change everything. I think that if they would have put up the license for Star Wars and Hasbro didn't get it, then McFarlane would be the place to go to. And just because he's got diversity in him. He's looking at it from all different perspectives. Despite what the press says, that's good publicity for him. And as he's getting it, whether it was negative or a positive about supposed female action figures, yet there he is spitting them out left and right. Warner Brothers
Nice.
Celebration, Wizard of Oz, got some of those on pre-order. He is continually raising the bar. Put out a figure, and then he's got a gold label.
I hate to interrupt you on this, but like I literally have maybe 2 McFarlane figures.
Yeah, I only have the Dark Knight Wave, the new Dark Knight Wave that just came out. That was the only thing I picked up.
I do want to make a comment since Salacious Rum has popped in. I wanted to show him this picture. Look what showed up today. And we'll have more on that discussion in the future. But I wanted to let him know that the second part of that box has finally gotten back to me. So now I have both boxes again. Start all over. I've shipped something to him and then finally came back to me. Let's see. McFarlane Star Wars, where Yoda's the same height as Chewbacca.
Yeah, I couldn't get behind like the full 7-inch line. They're cool, like the Dark Knight Waves, all right, but yeah, that's about it. I couldn't go like all in on McFarlane stuff.
The Batmobile looks really cool, but what I was telling Waze ahead of time is like it's kind of like if I was able to get it on day one, I probably would have pre-ordered it. But now that it's been a couple of weeks, I think that instant like, oh, I gotta get it has kind of subsided. Now I'm like relegated to, well, if I see it in the store and I have a coupon or something. And it's the same feeling that I had with that Batman 66 Bat Cycle. I wanted that thing so bad, but I've never seen it in any of my stores, and mostly because I think the NECA rep in the area is just not showing up at the stores. Okay. And the Targets in the area have just started refusing NECA shipments because the guy's just not there to put anything on the shelves.
Out. Yeah, no, that's what happens. Like the stuff sits back there and they're not allowed to put it out on the shelves. They have to wait for the rep to show up. And like, luckily I'm in New Jersey where NECA is. So like we get pretty lucky like with the reps and being like fully stocked. Sometimes though you got to wait quite a while like before they actually get around. You know what I mean?
Sure. So are you are you like all mostly online, or do you like to hit up stores? And
it used to be that I could hit up the stores until I saw one gentleman online saying, oh man, and he filled his whole experience of shopping and he said, nothing here again. I said, oh, pops on his phone, there it is, click, boom, ordered it. So I love getting out, but I love going out for recreation, maybe some action figure photography, going out with the fam, checking out some movies. We do, there's a little bit of collectors helping collectors. I love working with that team. Andrew Lau is one of the other persons I work with, and it's fun to be able to help others. So if you're short something and you can't find it, you're out there and you're looking. Sadly, not all the stores up here where I'm at have a good stock, like in New Jersey. Now when I'm vacay, oh boy, I'll still hunt out, and then you find some stuff, and you wonder how you're gonna get it home.
That's true, right? Oh my gosh! All right.
That's all I was thinking about all the people from Celebration. Like, man, like you're all the way over there. How you getting everything back? You know what I mean? Like,
can you imagine they gave away like 2 cell barges or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And now those people
we were talking about the lightsabers too. Like you get the box.
Like how you gonna pack that? Oh man.
I did read into the sale barges. They're sending them. They gave them their addresses, so they're gonna send it to them.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool, man.
Do you think they reproduced them, or do you think they just had stock lying around in a warehouse?
I think they're waiting for the right time. I mean, why just shelve the bugger? Now they're giving them away? What the heck? I mean,
I have a feeling that they reproduced them.
Yeah, that they're gonna have more of them coming.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, like now it is, it's like the con exclusives basically have like a moratorium for X number of years, and then they're a free game because that Comic-Con Jabba with the Crumb that's going to be re-released this year. It's not in the same packaging or anything like that, but it's basically everything you got with that original set. So it's only a matter of time before the Kenner colored 6-inch Boba Fett's back in production, which will make a lot of people happy because they really wanted that figure. I think that for the most people, it's going to be a great situation because exclusives are pretty much, I think, done. So I think that they should just get rid of the title and stop calling them exclusives and just call them like I don't know, the early edition or something like that.
First to market. There you go.
They
First to market.
They did what's his name? Serpentor and Mindbender now like 12 times. Like Serpentor like was just in stock again the other day. So it's like it's no longer an exclusive. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. I mean, look at the Rancor. Why release what appears to have been HasLab specific Gamorrean guard at $40? They're trying to recoup their losses.
Oh, they just released the Gamorrean guard tier at Target. It's on a card. It costs $40 in my Target.
There you go. They're recouping their costs.
Right. And then when
Jedi
Luke shows up on the Return of the Jedi card, that will be the other tier that they released. Yeah.
Exactly.
And if they just would have waited a couple more weeks, man. If they just would have waited a couple more weeks, put a saddle and Danny Trejo in there, it would have been fully funded to the moon.
Sure.
No problem.
Jonathan Redmond is saying is the HasLab 10 years old. That's when he thinks that the Cell Barge is going to get a re-release. Left Coast is saying I want that figure. He's talking about the Kenner colored 6-inch Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Mod Extra Games has joined us. He says,
"Hey, what's going on?
Going around. What's going on? See, I can't even read him when it's written on the screen. I'm definitely not going to be an actor like I thought." That's pretty sad. But anyways, so you know what, I want to talk about the shirt that Waze is wearing because that came from Mopar McNear. He's on Twitter, right? And he sent me a couple of shirts too. So that's the same shirt. It looks fantastic. He said he made these. So
he did an absolutely fantastic job. And it's got the 40th logo on the back. Really, really cool. And they're super, super thin and comfortable.
They're the comfort tees. They look super, super nice. So I wanted to say on air, I wanted to thank him for sending those along. He did send me a Marvel Legends that he said he didn't have any need for. So I got to turn that into something and then show it off. Because he said, maybe you could customize this thing. All right.
Turn it into another little Vern. I love that figure. You're inspiring me to get one of those selfies.
You should.
Yeah.
Look, I think that the selfie series is a hit or miss for the most part. But if you can look through the thing and find something that looks close to your hair and stuff like that, I think it does. Let me see. Right? I think it does have a good look to it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, Action Force Burn is perfect. Like that's one of the best ones that I've seen. Like, and it's weird because it seems like everybody gets like the same face, like shape, but like yours and mine, neither one of us have that. So it's like, it's super weird. Like, I don't know what they did, or like maybe we just scanned well when we did it. No idea.
I don't know, if it has to do with the lighting and the camera, because I did it at Comic-Con, so they had that booth with all the lights set up. Yeah. So it was my face was very well lit. And I had tried to do a couple of scans in the house. I never got it to work very well. But of course, that was with my older phone. I do want to say hi to Kat. That's Vader's girl. And then
Kat's been doing, make sure people follow her YouTube channel. Kat's been doing puzzles.
Oh, she's doing live puzzles. That's right. Yep. If you're a puzzler or not a puzzler.
Or you could bust her chops while she's putting it together too. That's always fun.
Yeah. Blue Harvest Toys has joined us as well. Did we say hello to Rolando? I think we did, right?
Yeah, he was driving.
Yes, okay. So if you're driving, bro, I don't know why you're typing. Anyways, I just want to mention now that plenty of people are here. I do have memberships on my channel, so you guys can all. Anyways, you know what? So I was talking about the GI Joe cover girl, and if you're a member of my channel, you know that I kind of fixed the figure, not with the head swap, but if you look at the arm, this is the one that's supposed to be loose.
Mhm.
You see, I tightened it up.
How'd you do that?
Yep.
Hey,
Gotta join
wait,
the channel to watch that video.
Show the head sculpt. Show the head sculpt. I want to see what the Kate Bishop looks like on it.
Andrew Lau was asking about the
Oh, that
Titan
looks good.
today. He wanted to know if we could buy a liquid that's supposed to help tighten joints. Is that what you use it, or are you actually refitting it?
So I do have a video up. I did just put it up as a members only video, but if you are interested, I use that UV glue, and it's the one that's a really good sculpt. I like that on there also.
Yeah, that's the Power Rangers head. It looked. I swapped that with the Sharon Carter instead. It looks 10 times better.
Yeah, it looks really good.
She looks like the chick Adriana Padlacki or whatever her name is.
Yeah, I know who you're
the
talking
one
about.
who would have been Wonder Woman.
Yes. So like if you they have that UV glue that you put it on, it's a liquid, then you turn on that little light on the other side of the pen. You ever seen it? It's like as seen on TV. They put it's in the as seen on TV section at Target. And what I did was I just built up the little ring with that UV glue, and then I used the light to like dry it. It takes like 3 minutes, and once I popped the arm back on, it was flush and tight. It didn't shake around. So that's all I did was I built up that little peg.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Andor season 2. Did you watch the latest episode of The Mandalorian? Did you say you were not finished with it?
I just left off with he was meeting with the committee. He passed by a whole lot of cool new like super battle troopers hidden in like red UV light or something, and he was discussing again the return of someone. And I thought,
Are
that's kind
you-
of what they're alluding to.
So he didn't finish the episode. He only watched the beginning.
Oh man, are you adverse to like having spoilers then?
I guess if you could cloud them a bit, create a nice little bit of a riddle.
Okay, well, the episode's called Spies.
Oh yes.
Right.
Oh, I picked her out from the beginning. She is
Okay,
mean. You wiped that
so
poor kid's brain.
So obviously, though, there's another spy in the midst,
Or multiple spies in the mix.
and what it looks like is it?
Well, wait. Before you,
So in
lay
the
out
chat,
the suspects. Lay out the suspects.
okay,
Yeah.
in the chat, I put in a poll which lists the 3 suspects of which are most likely to be the other spy or spies. It's going to be Axe Wolves.
That's my top one.
The Armorer is the other one, and Grogu.
You put Grogu in the poll?
Third Grogu.
I almost kept a straight face on that one. And so I'm looking at the poll right now, and it looks like Grogu's got 10% vote out of 21. And Axe is leading with 48%, and the Armorer has 43%.
And now there is one other suspect in that, and that is the marauder Mandalorians that were on Mandalore. So they're the other suspect in this whole entire thing too.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of questionable to me because those guys have been like riding around on that little boat forever, and then all of a sudden they know where
the force is. They led them right to the force. Yeah.
Like they couldn't avoid that. They've been avoiding that thing for like however 5-6 years or whatever, but all of a sudden, because they have all these people, like they can't avoid it.
And then there was a lot of like Trojan horse theories that like they're like almost like what happened with Troy, where like they're on the ship and they're going and they're gonna be the in-break in the fleet, but I don't think so. I don't know. We should discuss each individual one and like why we think there's a case for each individual person, because there's a lot of evidence for like all of these people.
Okay.
And then the other like one we could throw out there is R5. And he could be spying for Carson Teva, and that's how
well, I don't think he's
Tabitha kinda-
spying for Carson Teva because he's a droid.
You know
But
what I'm saying? No, like
Yeah.
he could be the reason
Carson
how.
Teva could be the spy.
No,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. R5 could be the reason why the fleet comes and helps them out at the
I
in
think
the last episode.
the spy is going to be the girl's boss, the spy's boss on Coruscant.
Oh, the ladies' man.
Yeah. Okay, so Mod Extra is saying that Bo-Katan is the spy. Cat wants to know how we could try to blame Grogu. Paz Vizsla's kid is now the spy.
Yes,
Gilster is
yes,
agreeing with that. Oh, yes. No, yeah. He's
I wanted to get a soundboard on them so I could hit them whenever you talk
Sure.
and just be like,
Yeah.
yes,
That
yes,
would be pretty funny.
no.
Skinny Pete is the spy. You know, I could buy into Skinny Pete being the
Yeah.
spy.
He's got a really cool what do you call it? Battle droid.
So here's the other thing I wanted to mention in this episode was those giant bird babies are the spies. Unfortunately, Mod Extra, if you weren't paying attention when they made the big feast,
they cooked it.
they cooked the younglings that they were supposedly taking in because he was rolling around on the spigot.
Here we thought they were taking them and we were like, oh man, they're gonna have these flying beasts to go into Mandalore with, and nope, they spit roasted it last episode to feed the whole clan.
Chicken dinner. Sorry, state of Earth. I'm sorry we couldn't cloud over that for you.
Oh, it's quite all right. I'm gonna get to it's the nitty gritty that they're gonna really stream out. You know how it works.
Yeah.
Disney Plus.
Yeah. All right. So out of our
IG-12 is the spy. Should I add that to the poll? Yeah. Rook Cast is the armorer.
That's what I'm thinking too. That's where I'm leaning. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of evidence. Is there enough?
There's a lot of evidence for everybody.
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so obvious. It's Maul. Oh, you know what? Could Maul be living as one of those Mandalorians that never takes his helmet off?
No.
You don't think so? Why? Because he's got a big spider body?
No, because he's buried on Tatooine. Obi-Wan buries him before New Hope.
Okay, see, I didn't read. Was that in a book?
No, it was in Rebels.
Oh, see, I didn't watch that. Darn it. Okay,
Yeah.
Andor's grandkid is the spy.
All
I
right,
think that response was for you.
So let's go with the armor and we'll talk about
armor.
her breakdown. That was cool. He's got like the pauldron, his battle droid head.
Blue Harvest, Roger.
All right, so the armor. This is how we can like structure the reasoning for her. The horns on Moff Gideon's helmet is one. Her sending Din to Mandalore in the first place, kind of probably thinking that he was never going to come back there.
Hold on. So let's slow down a little bit because you like to talk really fast. So you said the horns on Moff Gideon's head, is that like a sign of what, the Death Watch or whatever?
No, so what that was, those were Mandalorians. Those were the Mandalorians that were loyal to Darth Maul during the Clone Wars.
The loyalists then.
Yeah. So basically, Rook Cass is who I'm thinking the armor could possibly be. She was one of the generals to Darth Maul during the Clone Wars.
Was she an armorer?
Not at that point, she wasn't. But we don't know because we don't really have a backstory for her other than she was just one of Maul's generals during that.
So you're saying that any Mandalorian could just learn how to like hammer out armor.
I don't know. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is we don't have a backstory for her to know if she was an armorer or not. All that we know is she was Maul's general. That's it.
Maul's Mandos were called Death Watch. So Left Coast is saying Maul's Mandos were called Death Watch.
Yeah, part of Death Watch was what sided with him, and then the Night Owls what sided with Bo. That's how it's
okay.
split.
So would that mean Moff Gideon's answer? Oh, well, you're saying that Maul's buried, but if he comes back, right?
No, Maul's dead. He's not coming back.
Did somebody dig him up, verify that he was still there?
Obi-Wan killed him. He's dead.
Like he cut him in half at the waist.
He struck him down the middle of right down the middle. He's dead.
Not like half of a spider on one side.
No, he's dead.
Okay, you're sure?
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
100%.
But we saw Maul's face in the water with the armor when she's talking with Bo. There's a reflection of Maul's face actually in the water when she's talking about the Mythosaur a couple episodes back when she changes her tune. That's part of the direction and part of the reasoning. I think so. Like, I'm not sure if it's possible that she could have made a deal with Gideon similar to what Bo did. Bo talks about how she surrendered and she thought she was trying to save her people. It's very possible that the armor made a deal very similar before the Siege of Mandalore, and that's why, the Children of the Watch were on the moon of Concordia. That could be the whole entire, basis of everything.
But if that's the case, if the armor is really like the traitor and she's really made a deal with Maul, right?
With Moff Gideon.
With Moff Maul Gideon. Moff Gideon.
The thing with Rook, though, is Rook was the one who was trying to get Maul out of Mandalore. She was the one in the ship above the city when
if he made a deal with Maul to save her people, right?
Yeah.
Her side of the Mandalorians. Why wouldn't Paz Vizsla have known about it?
Because I don't think anybody knew about it. I think the whole entire, if she did like cut the deal beforehand, I think it was more so, she basically turned her own people over in order to have this covert, and basically you're allowed to go and take these Mandalorians and do this, but you're never to come back. Like, I think it was one of those types of things, and that's why their whole clan is not actually blooded Mandalorians. Like, they're all adopted people from different parts. That's what, you know what I'm saying?
Sure. All right. What about Axe Wolves?
So Axe.
Hold on. State. Do you have anything to add?
As soon as he said about being like adopted or taken, do you remember what happened in the very first of the Rey series movies where they said all the troopers had been removed from their homes, basically abducted?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good point, because we're leading right into that whole saga.
They're not tied together like that. The guy we saw in that opening scene that you actually saw at that table, Hux, that's who's taking the children, and that's who creates the First Order.
Oh,
and he's the dad, right?
Yeah, but it's the brother of the real actor. I thought that was cool because their dad is actually I forget his real name, but he's Mad Eye Mooney in the Harry Potter movies.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So like I assumed we were going to see their dad play the older Hux, but the fact that it was his brother, I was like, all right, cool. That keeps it just as good.
See, Mark Thrawn died in space with Ezra.
They didn't die.
All right, that's a conversation for another day, I guess, because when Thrawn shows up, we'll have that conversation about how he's supposed to be dead also.
They're not supposed to be dead, though. That was never. They just disappeared.
The armor is not a spy / traitor.
It's not Omega. It's definitely not.
Is he saying it's Omega?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's trying to tie in the Bad Batch. He's trying to tie in the Bad Batch with the Mandalorian.
Now, I still think if we're gonna see Omega in live action, the actress Michelle Ange is gonna play her in live action. I think that's a given.
Giant baby bird pies. I think they're still thinking about those roasting baby birds.
So Axe, like I didn't have really any theories about Axe until
you watched it back.
Until I watched it back and I realized, oh shit, he dipped out right before everything happened, and then like he's insistent on leaving. He's like covers him and lets him go.
I'll tell you why I think Axe is the biggest. To me, going to be the biggest. And I don't have all the backstory lore. All I have is what I can watch.
Yeah.
Okay. His character is not a character to like back down from a fight. Mm-hmm. They showed that multiple times. He fought Bo-Katan, right?
Yeah.
In this episode, you have to plug your ears if you don't want spoilers. He basically stands up for the fight in this episode also. And then when
right in the face, that was such a cool move.
And then when the battle begins, right?
He's gone.
His first thought is, let me bail out of here under the guise of I'm going for help.
Now, before you continue, so in that moment, The Gauntlet's already gone. So I had people on Twitter that were telling me, oh, he was going back to the Gauntlet to go back to the fleet. The Gauntlet's already gone. Armor took the Gauntlet.
Well,
so there's no. So where's he going with his jetpack? Is he flying all the way to space?
He's not flying through the sky. No, he's not flying all the way through that turbulence or anything like that. So he's got nowhere to go except for to safety because he doesn't want to be a part of that battle. That was the very first thing I thought when I watched the first episode. But
now could it be both of them?
What?
Could it be both of them?
I don't know. I think he's my number one suspect basically because he jammed. And that was that not characteristic of his character.
And then
he would have said, if it was really his character, he would have said, you dude in the orange suit that looks like the guy from the Eastwood movie, go for help. I'll cover you.
Yeah.
He would have told somebody else.
And now also as more evidence with the armor, here they are going to the Great Forge, the place she just spoke about with Bo an episode or two ago, how she went there and she has dreams of it and it echoes in her mind. Now they're going to the one place on Mandalore that she would want to be. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to take these guys and I'm going to go.
Yeah, because I'm the only one who can pilot the ship to get these like wounded guys. I'll do that. Oh, you guys know where the forge is? You know where it is? So you guys are going directly there? Yeah, I'm going to jump on this ship. Yeah, I get what you're saying. That was very suspicious. Yeah. But when
and there's two other things. There's two other things where while Bo's telling the story, everybody looks down the table at her when Bo's talking about surrendering. She looks dead straight ahead the entire time until the very end when she's asked about, are you Death Watch? And she just says, Death Watch is no more. But Death Watch is only no more because now they've adopted into the Children of the Watch, and most of Death Watch is gone. They're not full-blooded Mandalorians anymore. They're all, foundlings, basically.
Right. So, and the number 3 suspect is Grogu.
Yes.
Because when what's his name says we're taking the best of every species, he didn't think twice about that little dude in the back. He didn't look at him and say, "Oh, I need that guy's blood" or anything like that.
He already had it. He already took it.
I don't know. I thought all that stuff was lost, and I think he's like looking at him, going like, "All right, now he's got his little machine, plans in motion."
It almost didn't seem like he even saw him or like looked at him or you know what I mean. Like
he didn't even notice Bo on.
Yeah, he didn't even notice Bo, and he was just like, "Oh, Lady Bo." But so like, all right, talking about Gideon, do you like? He obviously talks about with the Shadow Council that he's got no interest in cloning, but from what we know, we already saw those Snoke tubes in earlier seasons of Mandalore. So, do you think that he's the one who created Snoke as like a Force-sensitive figurehead and like someone he could control, but obviously things didn't go like as planned because we saw the tubes, or is it a possibility that like he cloned himself? Because he makes that comment about the thing that was missing from the Death Trooper program was Beskar and the fact that he's in it, and all those troopers are in Beskar.
I don't think he wants to clone himself at all. I think he's too arrogant for that. He wants.
Well, that's why I would think he would clone himself because he's so arrogant.
No, he just wants one of him. He doesn't want. He thinks he's the most powerful, or maybe he's a clone.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, because of the difference in the haircut, and he looks a little younger, and he shaved the mustache off, and like, are we supposed to think that maybe he's just a clone of Gideon?
Yeah, maybe he's the actually what's been cloned.
And I thought it was interesting in this episode, they did not show us what was in the actual tubes. We saw that there is stuff in those tubes that he walks by at the end of the hallway, but this time we didn't see like if it was the Snoke, like what we saw in the earlier season.
So that's about where you got up to on the show, right, State? You saw those tubes. What did you think was in them?
Well, it's hard to tell, but I thought, it would be nice if there's some massive mutants or creatures that come out of them as a respect. But if it was, he shall not be named, comes out in the future, little test subject, Emperor Palpatine's maybe.
Could be. Maybe Ray's in one of those tubes.
That was the only thing I was thinking though, was because he specifically says to Hux, that's your thing is Project Necromancer. Like I got no interest in that. So it was almost like, all right, well, we already saw those Snoke clones like earlier seasons. So is
So
he
then what
doing
is
his
he
own
cloning,
thing?
right? He's
Well,
doing his own.
that's what I mean. Like he's doing his own thing with maybe Snoke, and then Project Necromancer is bringing back Palpatine. So like we're seeing those that in. That's what I loved about the episode and the Shadow Council was seeing that like even though they're supposed to be laying low and like all together, each one of them are striving for their own like little sense of purpose. The one dude's content robbing hyperspace lanes, while Pelion and Hux are living it up. You know, just continuing what they're supposed to do.
Right. Okay, so let's see. Jonathan is saying, how come all the Mandalorians that were stuck on Mandalore had no idea about such massive Imperial base?
Yeah, well, what I thought was so weird is as they're walking through the tunnel, like I saw as a viewer the walls change and like, wait a minute, that's metal framing now. They didn't like nobody stopped and was like, yo, wait, just stop.
Well, look, I'm going to tell you, we've been like, nobody's really been talking about this. And I think this is kind of like the biggest element, right? They keep saying like, oh, we couldn't have been defeated because we're such a strong military. Oh, we're so powerful together and blah, blah, blah. Dude, you know what? They were so untactical when they were trying to fight that like alligator thing in the first episode. They kept shooting at the armor and stuff. They got tossed around. They were so untactical when they were trying to chase a bird. They ran out of fuel because they were too busy like drinking and shooting their rockets into the water and stuff like that. When that bird came, when they came down in Navarro, they were like, they needed the monkey lizard to tell them that they were walking into an ambush, not tactical. And then the fact that they walked into a trap. I mean, these are
they literally ran head first into it.
These are the most untactical soldiers ever, and no wonder Mandalore fell. That's all I can say. Okay, anyway.
Yeah. So now
Brian's saying it's all sus.
That's what I'm saying. It's all of it. You can't trust nobody.
Din Djarin's the spy. Coincidence, those 3 pirate Mandos all survived.
That's what I'm saying too. That's the other suspect in the whole entire thing. They led them right to the forge. They just were chilling on Mandalore on the surface the whole time. Didn't see the TIE fighters and everything coming and going. And come on, that's just a little
diversion. Bit. Yeah, he's calling it diversion. Din's really dead, and his clone has been in the armor since season 2. Brian Myers has jumped in, and he's saying.
Yeah, they did say that. Yeah,
Rick, but they said every time any survivor went.
Hey, Brian. By the way, I didn't even see Brian pop in. Hey, Brian.
LeBron Fett's here. He's saying it's
definitely
LeBron. The armorer. Let's see. Left Coast already has Grogu's emoji. Yeah, I see. I think the chat is 100% on board that Grogu is actually the suspect here.
So
what they're typing.
The counter I heard a lot to people were like, well, why did the armor, still make the plate for Grogu? And like, why did you? I think there's a purpose to all that, and we're gonna see that. Like that plate wasn't made and put on his chest just for some random like reason. It's gonna come into play in the final episode. Somebody will probably try to stab him or shoot him, and he'll have that chest, like that chest plate to protect him.
Yeah, probably. Like that'll definitely like have to come into play, right? Like, why else would they have given it to him early on?
And like I heard people were trying to use that as a defense. We're like, well, why would she take Grogu like under her wing and start building him armor and stuff like that? Maybe because she knew like that this was all about to go down, and she wanted to still protect Grogu. Like, I don't think she's evil, even if she is Rook Cass. Like I said, I think her intentions were to protect her clan and allow her to keep having her secton and not be bothered by people. That's why they were hiding. They were on the run. But
not actually. Has anyone ever been tactical in Star Wars?
Literally.
No. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, only Effie's Nest, right? Like they were the only ones who had some plan going into like a heist and everything else.
No wonder they went extinct. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the Mandalorian leaders went to scout.
And then I guess we can talk about the big blue elephant in the room. We got our first mention of Grand Admiral Thrawn coming back. And That's really cool to me.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a total.
excited.
That's a total. Yeah, wait, as Stativerse hasn't got there in the episode yet, so we're sorry we ruined.
Well,
The
he did.
episode.
He said he watched that the council. That's in the Shadow
Oh,
Council.
okay.
We
So,
got our mention
well,
of
but we
him.
basically told you the rest of the
Well,
story.
it's ironic. They mentioned it during Celebration. They cast.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
made the cast announcement. So, but now here's something that I want to take from Sean Solo. Now that we're looking at interesting who's coming where, did you guys happen to see that photo of Rey? It looked like she was carrying a newborn, perhaps.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
all Photoshop.
Ah, okay. Because they have mentioned, of course, that in Celebration that she's coming back, but in what
Yeah.
perspective?
Yeah, no, they haven't started anything. Kathleen Kennedy said they're still waiting on the script. The script's due in a couple of weeks before they go into pre-production.
Oh yeah, Left Coast is agreeing with you that it's fake,
Yeah,
but it
definitely
is
fake.
true that
It's
Iron
a
Fist
cool
is.
idea. I heard the idea thrown around by people, but I don't know. We'll see what they end up doing. It's 15 years later. They got a lot to do. But back to Mandalorian. Yeah, we got our first mention of Thrawn, and he's been gone for about 10 years, 10
Yeah,
to
you're
12
pretty excited.
years.
You're pretty excited about that because that's like one of your favorite characters.
I gotta go all in on my theory too. Like I've been saying it now for so long. I just gotta back it up and go with it and ride with it. Like
even when your theory starts falling apart. No. They're just trying to throw you off.
It's not though. Like it's still together because Thrawn hasn't emerged himself. They're looking at him because he's the last ranked officer, the highest ranked officer that's still alive, and they know his mind and his strategicness. My whole thing is I don't want them to disregard those other Thrawn books because there's so much more that they can do with that. If they just do Heir to the Empire and have like him die in the movie and we go on to First Order and Palpatine, like that's so dumb to me. When you could do all this other stuff and have the First Order going on here and then have the Thrawn stuff going on here, I just think that's so much of a better way to go in the big scope of things for the state of good in Star Wars, because it can allow a lot more stuff that we've never seen and build like a universe that's not the one we know. We can expand and build out and do other stories. You know what I mean?
So I'm reading what Mod Extra is saying. He's saying when we all die, so will Star Wars. They don't make Star Wars for kids anymore, just for mega nerds like us, right? And he's
That's not true. There's a Star Wars kids show coming out on May the 4th. It's made for preschoolers till age 6, right?
So yeah, I want to kind of throw it there. If you had said that maybe like 10 years ago, I might have like said, yeah, I think I'm in on it. But like, so I work with a guy and he's got a small kid. And the kids, I think like 4 or 5 or whatever. But like one of the things that they do together is he likes watching The Mandalorian. And then he, wanted like little droid figures and stuff like that. So his little kid has been introduced to Star Wars through this Grogu character, right? That's my guess, and the droids. And now he like asks me stuff. This guy will now ask me stuff about Star Wars. And I'm not like the super expert at all, but I think it's kind of cool because then it's like I'm seeing like that next gen wanting to be interested in Star Wars. So I do see some of these shows have like brought people in. Like my son, who never was like a big Star Wars dude, is like with the little tree ornaments and stuff like that, getting the Star Wars stuff. So now he's all into it. He's the one that went to the shop and got me this thing. Right.
That's cool.
And I was like, oh man, that's really cool. And he goes, yeah, I was looking at them and there's a whole bunch of them. I didn't know which one to get, but that Mandalorian. So I think it's interesting that it has finally like parted down the generation.
Yeah. And they're, like I said, they're launching that show on May 4th. It's going to be set in the High Republic, and there's all kinds of toys and there's all kinds of things that they're doing for that show, specifically for like preschool aged kids and toddlers. Like they're trying to get toddlers like right into Star Wars. So yeah.
Grief Karga. Oh, Grief Karga could be the spy.
Yeah. I don't think so though. I think he's done that.
Well, since you don't think so, I think it's more likely.
It could be.
I'm going to check out this poll because we did get some more votes. It's now 42% Axe, 42% the Armorer, and 15% say it's Grogu.
I absolutely love the IG-12, by the way. Like, and I love like how like a typical kid, he just like as soon as he started walking around in it in the office, he's yes, yes, yes with every step, and Din's like, yes, what, like what? And then we go like we transition to the market, and he's just still hitting the yes, yes,
Look,
yes.
this is what I want to see. I want to see with the scene where Grogu hits like the two controls and like starts blasting everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like in that circle blast or something like
Yeah.
that with him in it. And then the follow scene will be him all like dizzy inside.
Because
Like
my guess is, yeah, like they still kept the droid function in there, so like he's gonna be able to do something in the next episode where like he's gonna be fighting. I think.
Yeah.
My only thing was like I thought this was gonna be where they finally gave him a little helmet because like he is exposed in there. That's not made out of Beskar. That's just a droid. So like I thought maybe something would be would be nice for that.
yeah. Yeah, I think so, right? Like I thought that was a good touch to finally give him something more to ride around than that pram. And
my only thing is how does Din put it on the ship?
Well, he just walks, yeah. Oh, well, there's got to be a little cargo hold in there because I don't know how that droid came out the bottom, how R5 came out the bottom of that ship to go scout around. I didn't see the port opening or anything, and when I look at the ship, I just don't know where the opening would be. Right.
Well, that port's underneath to go up and down for the droid.
Yeah. So he goes right through the engine.
Yeah, right through the base of the thing.
Yeah.
The engines are on the side. Yeah, of the starfighter.
Let's see. Anyways, got to go. Okay, Mod Extra, take care. He says he's grumpy about Star Wars right now. Well, then watch Star Trek. It was fantastic.
Yeah, people are mad about the First Order stuff and the Rey stuff, but guess what? I tried to tell you guys all along. They invested too much money in their theme park and their hotel. They're not going to get rid of it.
I'm not upset about the prequels.
I'm not either. I'm actually I like the fact that they're jumping 15 years.
Oh, the prequels. I mean the sequels.
Yeah. I like the fact that they're jumping 15 years, and I truthfully think it allows them to softly not reboot it, but they can retcon few things from those previous movies by whatever they do. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I want to hear what State. What do you think about that Rey series? Did you like it?
The announcement for it?
No, the one that the 3 movies they had. We always joke around about like whether or not they were good movies. I'm pretty vocal that I like the first one and the third one, and the Last Jedi I could pretty much do without. I thought it was it didn't have a good precedent, the slow speed space chase, and then this like how they jaunted off to some like casino planet in the middle of this chase. It bothered me. Right. Yeah. So like the whole movie didn't make any sense. I get what Rian Johnson was trying to do. So if people want to jump in and tell, well, he had vision and blah, blah, blah. He didn't have any vision. I mean, there was no vision about that because that movie could have been over in 5 minutes if they would have just jumped a couple of Star Destroyers in front of that Rebel fleet.
Yeah.
It was too depressing in the sense of them, one person to the next. Goodbye, and it just seems too sad in a lot of instances. This is not how you look. I mean, of course, now going forward into the future in this Mandalorian, you're saying, look at how they're not tactfully competent, and looking back, look at the rebels. It's like they weren't inching towards having a great assembly of, hey, we know what we're doing. So of course the Empire's been taking advantage of them, picking them apart, and I think killing off Luke, I didn't like that.
That was awful.
Leia, well, may she rest in peace. She had to go. It was just an untimely situation of events. So it wasn't that they were catastrophes. The very ultimate Emperor. I wish we had had an action figure of him. Hasbro just wants to skip that, and creating a dark Rey versus light Rey battle. That in itself also would have been cool. I think ways as you mentioned to go, what were in those tubes? What if it was Rey? Oh, what if it was? And then 15 years in the future, she's gonna have a battle.
So speaking about what you just said before, like we move on. One of the theories I had heard somebody throw out that I guess would make some sort of sense would be like them trying to somehow retcon that she actually is like a clone of Palpatine and Vader, and so like she technically would be a Skywalker. And I was like, okay, like I could see them somehow working that out, or doing something along those lines. The the Photoshop thing that you were talking about earlier was a theory of like when Kylo healed her and put his hands on her stomach, that like he got her pregnant basically, and that's how they could do the Jason and Jaina solo story going forward, would be like Kylo's Force ghost impregnant kids. But I mean, there's a lot of theories for it, but like I said, I think the 15-year time gap is what really gives them the biggest window to be like, all right, we can kind of either not acknowledge any of that, or you know what I mean, we could just move forward and not focus on those previous movies. We could just kind of tell a new story.
What about the Force Ghost Ben? Do you think Ben will be back?
I don't know. I mean, like again, they could find some way to bring him back if they really wanted to. They could do a lot of different things. It's just it depends on the direction. All that we've heard from Celebration was that it's going to be Rey starting a new Jedi Order and dealing with whatever the new threat's going to be to that Jedi Order, and that's kind of just what they broke.
I heard it's going to be a bunch of guys in baseball umpire outfits wielding fancy weapons. They're going to call them knights of something.
Yeah.
Well, remember in Obi-Wan they brought back Qui-Gon, and so they could easily say, "Here's another." I mean, I don't even know if you really think they're going to bring back another season of Obi-Wan. They did what they did. They didn't even really help CG Anakin. He looked much older than he would have when in those scenes actually having the battle and the training with Obi-Wan. And I thought to myself, it was interesting that they brought Qui-Gon back, say, let's go finish some training and such. But again, they wanted to do so well. And I remember Sean saying, look at the scene where they filmed them fighting, all that blue glow to it, and then that lifting camera shaking and such. It's again, was that rush to production, do you think? Because they wanted to have everyone see what they wanted to see, have the ultimate battle? Or
I think a lot of that had to do with that show being completely done during the pandemic. So like literally everything from that show, top to bottom, was filmed, edited, shot, completed during the pandemic. So when it actually came out, yeah, there's some things with the volume, there's some things to it. It's not a bad show though. Like it's really not. And there's ways to do a season 2. Kathleen Kennedy just said that it's not an active development as of right now. Yeah. So that means they don't even have a story for it. If somebody pitched an idea for it, my guess is Ewan McGregor is totally on board. But I don't think you could have Anakin be a part of season 2. I think it would have to just be Liam Neeson and Obi-Wan, continuing their Force Ghost training and him learning how to become a Force Ghost, and then maybe you involve Maul in that story there.
No, Blue Harvest is saying he wants Rey to wear something different, but I'm thinking like,
I do too. Like, please don't wear that same fucking outfit again.
Hold on. But wasn't the reason why in the third movie she was wearing that was because they had already had scenes that she had filmed with Leia in that outfit? Yeah. It was just a different color. So when they did it in the new movie, they just changed the color palette of it, right?
That specific, yeah. But in Last Jedi, she wears that one. She wears like that other tunic and color robe.
Yeah, it's a different color. They changed the color.
Yeah, and then in like the original script, she was supposed to rock like a jumpsuit. She was supposed to be like in an all black, like almost like Luke, in an all black like jumpsuit. So yeah, we never got to see that.
Rum says that Palpatine is the original Skywalker. Oh, I get it. That's not a real Star Wars theory. That's standard.
Yeah. So.
All right. Hey, okay. So let's get into this. So this week we have some toy reveals for the week. And
we're gonna skip over I guess you don't want to spoil the ending for Statoverse.
I think we could leave it there. I think everybody saw it. I think like
I just will say that the actor who portrayed him probably really like I know a lot of people associate the character with Favreau because he's the one that does the voice, but Tate Fletcher definitely deserves like a lot of credit for that role and playing the role because he's the person that's actually in the suit.
Okay. So I will say this, that last scene, that's what you're talking about with Paz Vizsla. Okay, so I would have expected something like that fight in the Book of Boba Fett with those Gormorian guards and those 3 guys that walked him off the cliff.
Cliff. Yeah.
So I was glad to see that he was tough enough to stand up for himself. And I'm thinking those Gamorrean guards, I don't know why anybody would be afraid of him after watching the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, because they literally just pushed them off a cliff and they didn't even swing or do
They
anything.
even they touched them. I don't think that nobody got touched in the Book of
No,
Boba
they just literally were going like this and like pushing them back.
Fett. Yeah. So,
But I love the fact that like they had him rush forward. You know what I mean? Like he didn't pause. He didn't wait for them to come to him. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, I loved how they showcased who he goes up against and just how like precise every movement was. It reminded you of a Bruce Lee, like every hit counts and every hit is intentional and on purpose. There's no move wasted. I love that. And like the symmetry of like 1, 2, 3 strike. You know what I mean? Like them striking intermittently. Oh my God! Like those are that's the Crimson Guards and Royal Guards and Praetorians that we should have seen all along, because that's what we've always like heard about them. So to me, that was so.
Well, I mean, not giving the Last Jedi their due, right? I did love that fight scene.
Yeah, they just don't like put up a fight in that. You know what I mean? Like there's 12 of them, and they literally just get slaughtered like nothing. Like it was.
Yeah, it just to me, it shows like how powerful. And Rey were supposed to be, right? But like, I mean, it was they put up way better of a fight than those Knights of Ren did.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys basically just walked around the corner and were like the Mandos on the beach.
Yeah, and they're trying in the books now to like give them a storyline and give them like a back purpose, and it's tough.
Before they're gone.
Every time they're in like the book, it's just like, all right, like I'm tired of these. They're like knockoff dark side users, and it's just like they're like what you'd find like at the dollar store. You know what I mean? Like they're rich. This is
the problem, right? Like, so I don't know what you think, State. Like, this is my problem is with the Mandalorian this season. With like every time they show these Mandalorians like on the beach, and every time I see them not like prevailing or being like as efficient as how I would expect them to be, right? No matter what anybody says now about, I'm afraid of these Mandalorians, I think to myself, like, why? You know what I mean? So like with these Knights of Ren, they can build whatever backstory they want and try to make them as awesome as they want to make them. But I've seen their ending, so it's like,
yeah. And you're gonna have that with some things like obviously these Praetorian guards, like we see them in the Mando helmets and they're in the Beskar, and we know like later on that transitions obviously because they don't have the Beskar. But yeah, that was such a cool moment, Left Coast. That gun overheating was such a special like thing,
so
and then
not clouding it over for you at all.
Man, just so cool, cool.
You need to catch up on that episode because and then of course the big reveal at the end, that was just freaking awesome. I just say that was one of the coolest things I've seen.
Yeah, when
Gideon walks out at the end, or not walks, but when it comes in, I thought that was super cool.
Yeah. His suit is incredible. I really hope like we get a Black Series helmet of that, because that with the horns on it and the red on the cheeks, oh my God, that looks so awesome. And like I loved how they blended. It's like a nice blend between the First Order like shaping of the helmet. You know what I mean? Like the I don't know what we're calling them, the Mando troopers, or
I don't know.
Are they dark troopers?
The helmet kind of reminded me of that motorbike helmet from Solo.
Yeah.
A little.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's also got like that First Order like shaping to like the cheekbone area of it, and then it comes down and it's got like a different like bottom piece to it, which is cool. Like I love the design, and I'm gonna need them in Black Series right away. Like I need at least 4 of them.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, the way Hasbro works is you see something cool on the Mandalorian, and 3 years from now,
that's what I'm saying.
You're gonna get a pipeline reveal.
It's killing me because like there's so much. So like I want to do a video because like I was trying to write down and think in my head of like, all right, there's all these things that we've been introduced to this season. Like we need characters for this. Like there's a couple reuse and repaints that they can do with just some different parts. But like,
Sure.
there's some other new characters that like we really need in Black Series. Like,
Blue
oh man, that'd
Sasquatch.
be awesome.
This is live.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. The best scene in The Last Jedi. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah.
Okay, Hammerhead. I guess he's already getting on to the reveal. So let's talk about the reveals a little bit. Dataverse will recognize all of the pictures in this slideshow after when we start getting to the reveals, because I go to his Twitter account and I pull the pictures down. Did you know that, State? That's what I do?
Oh yeah. Asked me the other. I don't know how long it was. I don't remember yet, but it's okay. I mean, I love that we're able to share the content. This is not exclusive. Exclusivity no more is my last hashtag. This
You know
stuff needs to be shared amongst we're a community of let it live. If you don't, then it's not fun anymore. You shouldn't. There's a lot of, it's like just scalpers market. Everybody's trying to take it all for themselves, and it's not fun. You want to make collecting fun. You want to be able to share what you have, and the content is great. Spread the word so the line lives. Otherwise, you're kind of worried that Hasbro was about to lose the license, or they made their management decision and we're making packages, plasticless, now packageless, and I was like, just shoot it out of a tube, but I'll go buy it at the store like that. Boop, there you have it. It's just plastic. So I really appreciate again everything. This is fun. Oh yeah, look at that.
That was last week.
Oh no. Oh, we were back.
All right. Okay, so we got a little section we call Hot or Not. And when we go through these, usually when I pull your pictures down, I have no idea. Like sometimes I don't even know what the figure is or what the line is. I just pull the picture down and I don't pull the information. I'm guessing whether or not it's Mezco or something like that. You'll probably be able to tell just by the picture. But anyways, the first one that I pulled down was, this is a pre-pick for the 112 or 1/6 scale. This is a Mondo. So this is probably going to be a 12-inch figure of Gambit.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
This is about it. Does anybody, I know Sean's got a couple of these 6 scale or the Masters of the Universe 12-inch. Is anybody else collecting these?
No.
All right. Connor says it's hot. And Left Coast used his ice cube emoji because he can't use the special members.
Yeah, I mean, the shot looks cool. I'll give them that.
Yeah,
the shot looks cool, and it looks like they put like if you look at the cards, it looks like they're like charging up. You know what I mean? That bottom one. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm not a bit. Have you picked up any of these Mondo figures, State? No.
I have a couple of the exclusives. So Scarecrow, the original Man at Arms, in addition to the He-Man.
And how do you like them?
Yeah, they're okay. They got detail, and they're not like, I have to go buy another one right after they make. I don't know how many different iterations. I thought, no, they're just way too expensive. They're nice to display if you're gonna put them on top of a statue or such, and then that's it. You can't really play with them much because they're top heavy. And they bobble over.
See, that's good to know. That's the stuff that you don't hear about, right? So yeah, I think I'm middle of the road.
Try doing the stop motion with them, and then you get it for a challenge.
Yeah, no, it probably wouldn't work. So then we got the Superpowers Invisible Jet coming up. So I took this picture, and that was before they actually came up with the jet.
Yes, that was quite funny when they did that.
Cool.
Yeah. So I don't know how many people are going to run out and buy a plane that they can't see, but I know that they used to. They had another invisible jet that they did, right? Like
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I did they do something for the Wonder Woman movie? Because I know like the invisible jet was in that.
I seem to remember that there was an invisible jet before, and I never got it. But I remember maybe it was a Comic-Con exclusive or something like that.
Or was it in like the original Superpowers line? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but I did see a guy that had the invisible jet Lego set. It was like a video or something that I saw. And it was like there was like an instructions in the box, but there was like no Legos in it or whatever. It was like a spoof thing the guy did. I thought it was kind of funny. Left Coast is saying retro. If it's retro, it's cool because he likes everything retro. He thinks it's a fire. He's using his fake fire emoji. Connor is using
Have
the
you
official
picked
not
up any of these,
emoji.
friend?
What?
Have you picked up any of the superpowers?
No, I'm not interested in the superpowers because of the way that they're made. I never liked them when I was younger and just not into them. What about you, Steve? Are you picking up any of these?
Nah, they're too. Initially, it's not my nostalgia. They've been done before. Let's stick with the glorification of the brand new. Let's stick with going forward, not backward anymore. They're all going clearance now. If you want them.
Yeah. I don't know. G-Force has joined us. We didn't say hello to G-Force.
Hey, G-Force.
All right. So what about this? This is the what is this? DLX Bumblebee. This is
RC.
Bandai, right?
That's 3-0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bandai 3-0. I mean, the Tamashi Nations.
Yeah, that's cool.
Look pretty cool. This is not for me, but might be for somebody. So there's a knot. I think Brian saying it looks like a children's bath toy, but he's still talking about that invisible jet. What about the Blue Beetle? Has anybody seen the trailer for the Blue Beetle?
It looks good.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah, I think it looks good. Great. I think this is from the movie, right?
I'm not sure.
It looks more like the comic.
You think so?
The little comic there included. I mean,
well, yeah, it's got the. I think
right.
that comic collection. Yeah.
Greedo Speedo is here.
The kid from Cobra Kai that's playing Blue Beetle. He looks like he did a good job.
And I think his last name in the Blue Beetle is the same as his last name in Cobra Kai.
Is it really?
I think so. I got to look back at that. For some reason, I felt like it was. Yeah. Darkwing Duck.
Oh, that's cool. Who's this? Super 7?
That's Diamond Select.
Diamond Select. Oh, so then it'll be pretty good then. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What about you, State? Are you picking up Darkwing?
Again, I collect too much, so no.
I may get it.
Got to limit it somewhere, right?
Yeah, I do. McFarlane, you got NECA. Depending on the price, it's getting kind of crazy out there. So NECA never discounts.
Yeah.
My brother worked on Darkwing Duck, so I may be interested in picking this up just because of that.
Yeah, that would be cool. Pick it up for him too, but that would be a nice little gift for him.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, maybe.
He's watching this. We're gonna be asking him for Disney stuff very soon. So
no, so this is my other brother. So my
this is your other brother.
Okay, the animation and stuff like that.
This is the one that worked on Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him back to come back on, talk about Spectacular Spider-Man. It's the anniversary year, so we're trying to figure out some dates and stuff like that. I still have to send him some dates so he can see who else he can pick up. So hopefully that's coming up. Okay, so then after Celebration, right? They announced this Target 2-pack. Anybody interested? You're in?
I'm in on it, and I'll tell you why first. So he comes with a new flamethrower effect, comes with the gun effects, and it's the same price as the other Cad Bane that they're releasing. You're basically paying $25 a figure. So I'm going with this one.
The other Cad Bane is $55.
No, I'm saying $25 a figure. So it's if you're buying the other Cad Bane.
Okay, I don't know what the school district was like where you went. 25 plus 25 does not equal $55.
So you're paying another $5 more than you would for 2 figures, Vern. So it's not. It's not.
I'm just messing with you. I understand what.
But you know what I'm saying. It's not that much of a difference. You're basically getting the same figure with more stuff. I'm going
Target,
with over the other.
Target. That's going to be $74.
Oh well, yeah. The Vern tax. I just think that's Hasbro themselves. Like, oh, we know where he lives. We're just going to go into his Target and screw him over more.
What about you, State? Are you picking up the 2-pack? Are you interested in the single?
I pre-ordered all 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
I like this Cobb Vance too. Like, that's a cool Cobb Vance. I know, like, it's they fixed the torso piece and gave him a new handkerchief, but I like this better than the other one.
So is this torso different than if you just take off the armor?
Yeah, because when you take off the armor on the other one, there's no pattern on the shirt. It's just a plain torso. The pattern's only like only on like his belly button down, like where the armor's, like not covering it.
Okay.
So that's the difference basically. Is like if you take it off, it sucks.
The articulation doesn't look great. I think that's on the Darkwing Duck. Let's see. I worked on some Gentle Giant new reveals. Yes, but you didn't send me any pictures, so we can't put them.
I wonder if Left Coast worked on that Carson Teva. That Carson Teva looks awesome.
It is pretty cool.
Really cool.
I love this, but I wish I didn't have Cad Bane already. This is the TV version of Cad Bane, though.
Yeah, this is the Book of Boba Fett live action version. Yeah.
Who else is not here to learn math? That's Left Coast. And okay.
I'll wait for Robo Van. So that's what I've been wondering. Like, if they're gonna like combine Valance, that's in like the comics, with like Cobb Vance's character, because like we still don't know like what he's gonna look like when he comes out that back to tank. If there's gonna be like some sort of alterations to him or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we see them next week. Like that would be awesome if they all show up as like reinforcements.
I need a cowboy hat so I can put my Cobb Vanth head on a suit and get him ready for the return of Justified.
Yeah. On that white suit, you got the white suit now with the that's the perfect right there. Get the cowboy hat, paint it white, and put him on that white suit. Oh man, that would look awesome. Yeah, that's a cool one.
Oh, maybe Cobb Vanth is the spy.
I really hope we see them next week though. Like I would love to see like Boba and them show up as like backup on Mandalore. That would be cool.
Okay, so State, are these also Diamond Select?
Correct. Those are
okay.
Diamond Select.
So I wonder, Dandy's here, or he was, and I wonder. I know he likes the Lord of the Rings. State, are you going to get any of these?
I'm trying not to. But that Ottoman looks really good.
Probably will have to.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they go discounts. Come the fall Fridays, the Black Fridays. I love doing those events. Those are fun. You get really good toys. Look at that.
You're not, right?
I'm not in, but like that's cool looking with the the ISR globe and everything. Like that's pretty sweet.
Vern's math. If you have 5 AAAs and by 3 9-volts, how many batteries do you have?
You have to put them in a case.
No, you have. According to this question, you have 5. Just because you bought 3 9-volts doesn't mean you have them. All right. God. So Connor saying they're hot. What's going on here? Duffman's dioramas.
So now Statoverse. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, are they doing a full line of these, or it's just like that's cool? That's a cool one too.
They've had a couple of other figures come out with. I'm trying to think of their names. It's been too long now. I don't collect them, but you could build. What's the name of the baddie? I see you. What's his name? Sauron. So you can build the Sauron, and you have Aragorn. You have, but there are quite a few. Let's put it that way. Now,
that's cool, yeah, because this is Series 6, so this is that they're pumping these out, and now Warner Brothers announcing that they're. So, like, do we know? Are they rebooting these movies, or are they just going to do their own like Amazon thing?
I think you're going to have to go to Walgreens to get them.
Yeah, I haven't seen them say that they're rebooting, but I know that they're just doing their own iterations, and they're looking really good as far as the detail. Look at that torso there.
Brian is saying that they've been doing the rounds for about 2 years now. My thing is with these is I have those Tron Diamond Select figures, the little 7-inch ones or whatever, and I'm not impressed at all with them. They look really cool. They look cool. You can kind of pose them, but I couldn't get the guy to hold the disc with 2 hands. It was a little bit disappointing, and that's the pose I wanted him, but he just didn't want to do it. Left Coast has got some more to say. He's kind of surprised Diamond and GG have not revealed any new Star Wars figures since Boba Fett and Stormtrooper. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that new Iceman they just did looks really great. I saw people doing reviews of that already. That looks really cool. The Diamond Select Iceman.
Mm-hmm. What about this Maul? Anybody?
Yeah, I'm in on it.
I think I'm done. I don't think I'm going to get any more Maul figures.
No, this is my favorite iteration of Maul. The only thing he's missing is his hood, but you could paint this Cal Kestis hood piece and call it a day, and you're set.
Yeah. There's probably another option you could do too, right? Like,
Oh, I'm sure you could even do an actual soft goods hood if you wanted to. You know what I
would
mean?
Zartan's hood work on them?
Yeah, yeah, could. Yeah.
Not
And, my only thing was the fact that this was GameStop. I hate ordering from GameStop because like you order one figure and you're basically paying like with the shipping and the tax and everything from them, you're paying for like two figures at that point. So you're better
Well,
off like picking these up in store when you
I,
can find them because there's going to be a surplus of them in store.
I will never order from GameStop online ever again.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I
tried,
never.
I tried to cancel an order. Then they shipped it because it was so far behind. Then I put in my cancellation request and I never heard anything. And then like a month later, it shipped. And like the minute it was marked shipped, they sent me an email saying, "I'm sorry, your order was already shipped. Couldn't cancel your order."
Yeah, that's how Entertainment Earth does it too sometimes.
And then they
like,
told me that if I wanted to return
like,
it,
oh no, we're gonna ship it right out.
then they told me if I wanted to return it, I had to pay like an $8 or something like that return fee. And I was like, you guys are nuts.
So like my only complaint with this is like they did it. So like this is Star Wars Rebels Maul. This is Old Man Maul. This is basically him before he dies and when he fights Kenobi for the last time.
Okay.
This is the Battlefront version though from the second game that they did. It's like the DLC. So like there are some slight like differences between this and like the Rebels version. Like I said, he's missing the hood and his staff there. Like you see how like that one point of the lightsaber like comes off like a handle.
Okay.
Basically, he's supposed to have like another part that like sticks into the lightsaber to make it look like a cane. So like he covers, the lightsaber as a cane. It's pretty cool.
So is that thing around his waist to hold his legs on?
It could be. Yeah, it could actually be. It could be to like hold his torso to whatever the the bottom mechanism is. Yeah.
All right, State, are you in Tamal?
Oh yeah, he's one of my favorites, but I'm not gonna pay $28 for him. I'll wait till he goes on clearance.
Yeah. See, there you go. Okay.
There you go. There's the man.
I don't think anybody's interested in this. I think there's pretty much nobody at all that cares about a Hammerhead figure.
Yeah, this is going to be the one we're going to need your brother to pick up because I'm going to need.
This is going to be a total bench warmer.
I need two of them.
Same. Make it 3.
Yeah, because like I was saying to you, my assumption is that's the Jar Jar Binks body underneath that robe because you can see the feet. They look like the Jar Jar Binks feet. That's what most people use as Hammerhead now. They just buy the custom Hammerhead sculpt and pop it on the Jar Jar Binks body. So my assumption is that's what's underneath that robe. So you're going to be able to literally pull that robe off and have like a separate Hammerhead if you want. You know what I mean? Like, plus the accessories he comes with both holocrons, the Jedi and the Sith. He comes with like that actual chain necklace around with all the medallions from what looks to be the Chiss Ascendancy. Has the sword of something. I'm not sure what the sword's from. And then the clone helmet. And today, actually, Landspeeder Luke put out files for Doc Ondar's shop. So, like, you're going to be able to 3D print a lightsaber display and shelving to, like, make his actual shop, which is really, really cool. Like, that's going to be awesome.
I guess. Is he going to come with a little headset so he can speak to everybody?
I don't think so. I don't know if he has one.
I don't know. He's not going to be able to. Nobody's going to understand him on my shelf.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be just speaking his own tongue, and somebody's gonna have to interpret.
Alrighty, all right. Yeah, I actually like this. I'm kind of surprised it came out with it.
I am too.
I'm hoping now that we have this, they'll crank out some different iterations of the figure as well. But I have a feeling that it'll be Doc
more figures
for at least a year on his own. Like they won't do a regular Hammerhead probably for a year.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's why you'll just buy multiples of these and be able to make as many Hammerheads as you want, I think. Because, like I said, I think that's that Jar Jar body, so it should be fine.
Yeah. And anybody in for a utility belt?
I'm not, but my buddy is. My buddy pre-ordered one the other day.
All right, State, you gonna buy one of these and wear it around?
No, it's a negative. It's just not into wearing it. I couldn't do it. It probably wouldn't fit.
I think I do want one.
Yeah. It's cool, and it comes with everything. Comes with the batarang, comes with the grappling gun. Blainer thing from NECA was showing it off. It looks
Can I
really
put
cool.
double-A batteries in those little compartments?
Just have batteries just ready to go.
Anyways.
Pictures. Put it on one of your videos there, Vern. I want to see you wearing it.
I definitely will. Anyways, those were the reveals this week. Boy, we got this that I was able to find. We got through that pretty quick this week. Usually we're running right on 2 hours. The thing is, my grandkid is here today. I can hear him crying and screaming downstairs, and I'm like, I wonder what's going on. But, so I think in the next few minutes we'll probably end up wrapping this up. But do you guys have anything else you want to talk about before we wrap things up? State
Peaches. Yeah.
Do you have anything coming up on your YouTube, or you have anything new coming up on your YouTube, or anything you want to talk about, like that's happening?
I'm a bit motivated by the Beast Boy McFarlane Build-A-Figure, so I might actually put something out. I know I'm torn between some sort of short on maybe him stop motioning, or just a little cheap review. Sure, just that might be something to be. I felt creative a little while ago. Oh, there's one. So that NECA Turtles accessory pack. You guys have heard of it, right?
Yeah.
Did you manage to pick one up?
Managed to have CHC was nice enough to get me one. I mean, to put that out as a post of thank you with another one that I was able to get, which I'm thankful, but I'm behind. But I do have. There was another one that a friend of mine says, "Hey, you want to do a giveaway?" And I said, "What? Giveaway? Why not? Because nobody wants those, right?"
Yeah, right. I still have yet to see one anywhere. I've been looking for a buddy of mine and cannot have yet to find one.
The only one that I'm interested in the musical mutagen tour pack.
That one is now it's no longer exclusive. You can find it at their tours.
Really?
Yes, I saw it the other day. Someone was saying that they're going to have another convention. They said that Musical Mutation Tour is going to be, or it's going to be there again. So it's like you said before, it's not exclusive. Right. They still got them lying around.
Yeah, those are the ones I need, and really because I worked at Six Flags in the early '90s, and they came on their tour, and I had to do the security at their little concert. It was hilarious because like mostly it was just making sure like people stayed in their seats.
That's cool though. That's funny. Yeah, I remember going to that concert as a kid. Like I went to Radio City Music Hall in New York and saw them in their tour. It was actually
a really good show. It was a good show. Waze, what do you got coming up this week?
I got a big like mail haul video that I got to post. I literally have it uploading right now as we're on here. And I have some new Star Wars figures. I got some of the Andor Wave. Cal Kestis finally moved up today. Originally, he said August. He's shipping out today now, all of a sudden. Hopefully, Luke's coming soon. Still waiting on him, but yeah.
Star Cruiser Luke, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a video coming up, and I'm going to do the other two from the Indiana Jones. You can see I got my little setup with the Ghostbusters and the ghosts coming out of the park. So anyways, I got that. That's probably going to put that out on like Monday or something like that.
So who's winning the poll? What's the results of the poll?
Oh, I stopped the poll. It was tied between Armor and Axe, and Grogu was a close third. So usually, like,
I think there are two most likely suspects for this week.
Grogu and Axe.
What do you? Before we go, what are your predictions for the season finale of Mandalorian next week?
Okay, so my prediction is that Bo-Katan rises up with the Mythosaur in the final battle, which will basically be a mirror of what happened in the Book of Boba Fett with the Rancor.
Yeah.
That's how I think that the ultimate fight goes down, and she ends up riding up on the Mythosaur, sword in hand, and then you get a shot that's similar to that, like heavy metal, Yeah.
And Grogu just hitting the button the whole time. Yes.
Well, did I hear you right there, Vern? You just predicted the HasLab Vintage Collection Mythosaur with both.
I want it in Black Series, man. I would take it. I would definitely take a Mythosaur. That would be cool.
I want one.
Yeah,
I think even in a Black Series scale or in a vintage collection scale, it could
fit.
semi work because
Same thing with the Rancor. The Rancor,
yeah, that
the
Rancor
Rancor
looks
fit.
pretty decently sized. I mean, it's it's undersized, but when you have Boba Fett riding on top of it, it looks
It looks
pretty
fine.
good.
Yeah. No, I would love. I was interested to see about the scale and height. I know you and me were talking about it with like the pictures about with the Endor bunker. Like if
Right.
how a Black Series figure looks next to that Endor bunker. Yeah.
I think if you put it further in the background.
So that's what I was thinking. Like as a background piece, would it kind of scale and look okay to the eye, or would it be like way out of place where like, oh yeah, you could tell.
Yeah, because sometimes you could do a lot. You could do a lot with perspective.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was like. Oh, if you could put it as like a background piece, like with the Endor display that I was trying to do, like that would be perfect. But I might just have to invest in like a 3D printed version of it. Right now, I just have like the cardboard
I think
version.
you can make one. I think you could probably make one too.
Oh yeah, you could.
And it would look just as good.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Statoverse, I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with us this week.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you as well. I really appreciate it and love to come back. I'll be caught up on my episodes.
Everybody in the chat, if you didn't know, Statoverse, he's on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle?
Statoverse.
Okay, and then you're also on Instagram. You tweet out pretty much all of the reveals all week long. You got like links to everything. You also have a YouTube channel. It's in the description of the show if you guys want to like subscribe to his channel. He had been doing this Is My Why series. We also want to say thanks to Ways of the Sith for coming again and hanging out and learning some math with us. You can catch him at youtube.com/Ways of the Sith. He's also on Instagram and Twitter as well. And I want to say thanks to everybody who came out in the chat and hung out with us and for giving us your comments and letting us know that you, like me, believe that Grogu is the actual spy of the show.
Grogu did it.
Anyways, everybody, and before we head on out, I just want you to hear from our sponsor, Left Coast Graphics.
It's Luke and Leia, and they run around and you can play with them, unless your parents tell you you're too old to play with toys, and you ask them, well, why did you buy me these in 1977 if you don't want me playing with them still? Anyways, there's a solution. If you're all grown up and toys are not for you, here's some enamel pins from Left Coast Graphics. They remind you of those vintage figures of back in the day, and you know what? When nobody's looking, you can pull them off your jacket and go, hey, Leia, let's go! And the ships come in these fantastic boxes that you can fold out, and here's the one for Boba Fett's infamous enamel spaceship. This is the pin. It looks fantastic. You could put it on your jacket. But like I said, when nobody's looking, you could fly those ships around. So remember, get your enamel pins with these awesome card backs and these fantastic pins that double as toys, but don't tell your parents. From Left Coast Graphics!